After a long trip, Nobara finally arrived in Tokyo, and Gojo's group was there to welcome her. Thinking that Nobara hadn't arrived yet, Yuji wanted to invite Megumi to eat popcorn, while Nobara was following a talent scout and wanted to become a model. But because Nobara's face was too fierce, the man was too scared to hire her. And when they saw Nobara, Megumi and Yuji couldn't believe that this strange girl would be their teammate. After introducing their names, Nobara immediately called Megumi and Yuji to lucky guys, because Nobara would be the only female student in their group. But when she stared at these two boring faces, she was extremely disappointed, because neither of them were her type. Seeing that Yuji and Nobara were both from the countryside, Gojo wanted to take them on a tour of Tokyo. So these two comedians were very happy because they thought they would have fun. But the place that Gojo brought everyone to was an apartment full of curses, making Nobara and Yuji speechless. Nobara was very confused because Yuji was a sorcerer but didn't know much about curses. And when she asked, Megumi said that Yuji had just swallowed a few of Sukuna's fingers. So Nobara felt very scared and didn't dare to play with Yuji anymore. The mission that Gojo gave was for Yuji and Nobara to go and cleanse the curses in this apartment, because Yuji had just become a sorcerer, so he couldn't control the curses yet. So, Gojo temporarily lent Yuji a knife that had been enchanted with curses to help him fight. This was also a test for Yuji, so Gojo reminded him in advance that he couldn't ask Sukuna for help, because if he appeared, all the curses around would be destroyed immediately. Seeing that Yuji was too slow, Nobara immediately urged him to hurry up, so that everyone could go eat together, because in her mind at that moment, there was only sushi and some snacks. To shorten the time, Nobara said that the two of them split up to search, but Yuji did not agree, because he thought that this curse was very dangerous. Seeing that Yuji talked too much, Nobara gave him a kick, making him fall face down on the ground. Yuji was very angry, could not understand this girl's attitude. At that moment, a curse appeared right above Yuji's head, but he managed to dodge and counterattack in time, thanks to the knife that Gojo gave him. Combined with his agile movements, Yuji quickly cut off all the limbs of this monster. After that, he launched the final blow to purify it without losing much strength. Outside, Gojo and Megumi were chatting with each other while waiting for the other two. Gojo saw that Yuji was a pretty crazy young man, even though it was the first time he saw a curse, but he was not afraid at all, but even rushed into fighting with them. While before Yuji was still a normal high school student like everyone else, and Nobara was also a girl with a personality much different from Yuji. So Gojo also wanted to test how crazy this girl was. According to Gojo, curses were born from the human soul, so crowded places like Tokyo would have more and stronger curses. Because she was an experienced person, Nobara could determine the location of the curses. Her weapons were a hammer and nails that were enchanted with many curses. After aiming straight at the target, she drove 2 nails into the face of the curses that were hiding, but unlike the low-level curses she encountered in her hometown, the Tokyo curse was on a completely different level. After the attack it grew many more eyes and slowly stood up, but Nobara controlled the nails to penetrate deeper, causing its head to explode. Because this was Nobara's first achievement in Tokyo, so she was very satisfied. At that moment, she discovered a child hiding in a corner in fear. Nobara immediately approached and told the child to come out, but the child was so scared that he could only sit still. Nobara was startled, thinking that she was being ignored by the child, but in fact, there was another curse hiding in the wall. It used one hand to grab the child's head and held it hostage, making Nobara very surprised, because this was the first time she met a curse with intelligence. In order to save the child, she put down all her weapons, but Nobara suddenly understood that, if she didn't have weapons, both she and the child would be murdered by it. While not knowing what to do so, Yuji broke the entire wall to enter, and with just one slash, he cut off the monster's arm to save the boy. Knowing that it couldn't fight against the 2 sorcerers, It had to find a way to escape. Seeing that, Nobara asked Yuji to throw the monster's arm to her. Then, she pulled out a straw doll to put on the arm. With the resonance spell, she added nails to the straw doll, causing the curse to cry out in pain and evaporate immediately. After cleansing the curse, Nobara remembered her past. Since elementary school, Nobara had admired a girl named Saori. She had a very kind face, and she moved from Tokyo to live here. But the villagers boycotted Saori because they thought she looked down on them, and after a while, Saori was chased out of the village by them. Nobara couldn't stand this village anymore, so decided to leave there and move to Tokyo. As soon as she arrived in the city, she had to meet a young man who could break walls with his bare hands, Yuji. Although they fought like cats and dogs, the two of them got along very well. Nobara told Yuji that she came here because she didn't want to stay in that damn countryside anymore. So even if she had to risk her life to destroy the curse, she would be happy. Then Nobara thanked Yuji for saving her. But then Nobara acted like a crazy person, thinking that after thanking Yuji, she didn't owe him anything anymore. Gojo also took that brat home. Gojo also announced that it was time to eat. So the two of them were very happy because the teacher would take them all to eat steak and sushi. Only Megumi was a bit sad because he didn't get to show off any skills today.